mic in the back. Yes.
It's not our will this evening, but your will be done. I will discuss it with business, O Father God. And that we heart to be in one accord, love, understanding, and cooperation. Amen and amen.
Amen. Thank you. Please be seated. So there are seats in the front. I see some vacant seats. You can come as we make room for everyone. So, brothers and sisters, good evening. Let me welcome you to the first in a series of community conversations where we as the PNM go through the length and breadth of Tobago, because we say Tobago deserves better. We are also saying very loudly, let us put Tobago first again. I want to recognize, sitting in front of me, in a spanking white pants, the political leader, and white shoes, yes, and of course, the PNM jersey, of course. Political leader of the People's National Movement, Brother Ansel Dennis. The General Secretary of the party, the Tobago Council, Sister Akisi London, and other members of the executive. And I saw a lady walking a while ago and all your heads were turned. In PNM, we have some beautiful dynamic ladies. Councillor Petal Daniel Benoit. And sitting charmingly in the back was a former MP Tobago East, charming Sister Ayana Webster Roy. With us is former Assemblyman Brother Godwin Adams. And I heard there was a cadet in the back, so other former Assemblymen, we welcome all of you. The Lady Vice Chairman, Sister Nicole Henry. All other distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good evening again. We have with us as well some of our prospective candidates who are sitting in the front. But today I want to especially recognize Brother Dominic Kerr because we're in Canaan. And of course, make some noise for other prospective candidates who are with us this evening. You know, we are the PNM. And I make the point every time that I'm proud to be PNM. In the good times and in the bad times. Every time. Because the People's National Movement should be proud of a legacy of development in Tobago and Trinidad and Tobago. And you know, if you are worried at all, and you see what is going on in Tobago now and in Trinidad and Tobago, you say, oh gosh, where is the PNM? Because in the PNM, we put Tobago contractors first. In the PNM, we put the people of Tobago first. When it came to development, in terms of CPEP, URP, and all those programs, our people were first. And we are saying, let us put Tobago first again. If you didn't hear me, I'll say it one more time. Let us put Tobago first again. Wherever you go and you are walking around, wherever you go, there's a cry. It has never been this way before. Every industry quarreling. People are dissatisfied because no matter how bad it was, we put our people first. When you take 300 million of our development budget and take it elsewhere out of Tobago, and everybody quarreling because we say, where is going on? The shopkeeper quarreling, the person doing nail tech quarreling, the workers quarreling. Look at our roads, look at the hedges, look at where we are today. It has never been this way before. This is a clarion call for all of us to get ready. If we ain't ready, my friends, time to get ready now. I say to all of us that now is a time for us as a people to come together and stay together in the interest of Tobago and Trinidad and Tobago. So if you wasn't talking to Yvelle Charles, talk to she now. Because, my friends, we have to come together. We have to unite to fight and win for the interest of Tobago and Trinidad and Tobago. No longer can we lay dead and no longer, no man. And if you left the PNM as chairman, I say to you, come home to the People's National Movement. We need you now. Tobago needs you now. Whatever little issue you have, we are not perfect. But I'm saying that once we do what we have to do, Tobago will benefit. The people of Tobago will benefit. People of Trinidad and Tobago will benefit because we are the PNM. We have a track record. You can look at it. You can look at the development that took place in Tobago. Look at it for a 4-year term. Do the maths. Check out the development then and the development now. Look at the various sectors. As I walk the road, people quarreling, everybody wants something. Mr. Paul, what are you doing? We want the PNM. That's what they're saying to me. I'm not sure what they're saying to you. That's what they are saying to me. Mr. Paul, we want the PNM. Or look, get ready and come back now. But every vote counts. Every single vote counts. Let us go out and talk to people. This is a one-on-one conversation. We have to talk to persons, let them understand where we were and where we are and where we will be under the People's National Movement. So I will say today, we'll have a conversation. But I'm not here to talk alone. So I will invite, we have 2 empty chairs in front. So I will invite someone to join me in this conversation. But remember, it's a conversation. So we want to hear from you. I want to invite first a young man from this district to come. But I won't let him come alone. I will invite the political leader as well. But until Dennis, to take a seat. Welcome indeed, the political leader, Brother Ansel Dennis. You know, I said Mr. Cadet was in the back, Mr. Cadet was right in front, but here we Cadet again. So as the political leader is here, give me some company on the stage. I would invite to give some remarks. We looked through the length and breadth of Tobago, and we looked at Canaan. It's a bright, shining star. That our process is very rigorous And there are others who did well as well. And we want to congratulate all the persons who put themselves up for this district. I want to recognize Brother Sterling Roberts as well, who contributed well. And emerging out of that process was a young man by the name of Dominic Kerr. A man who we are all proud of. A man who continued the work. I want to invite him now to bring some remarks. Welcome, Brother Dominic Kerr, the prospective candidate for this area. Brother Kerr.
So I feel at home on the couch. So I'll go there. Standing on the existing protocols that went before, ladies and gentlemen, friends and well-wishers, good evening. My name is Dominique Errol Kerr, the prospective candidate for the electoral district coming THA elections. Synonymous with villages in Tobago are nicknames. My nickname in this electoral district is Train. You come into the community and you say Train, and they'll point you in one direction. My story is a Bonaccord, Crown Point, Canaan, Tobago story. My mom, Queen Anne, vivacious in hair color and dress. For those of you all who know her, you see the clothes before you see her. He is from Canaan. My father, from Bonaccord, preacher man, Mansom. One of the food baskets of Tobago. And my crowning joy, my son, he hails from Crown Point, which represents the continuation of my generation. So you see, I'm straddled within the community and augured well where the family ties are concerned. 4 years ago, I proffered myself forward for public life. I was successful through the nomination process. I faced the screening committee, and after the screening process, the question was asked, how do you think things will fare out, in normal colloquial words? I said, whatever the outcome is, I would have won. Sometime after that, the party decided to return to the polls with the incumbent. When I explained to that person after that I won, I judge outcomes based on the final destination. The next day after the selection process, Mr. Calendar spoke to me. He said, Dominic, in politics, timing is everything. And if you are serious about public life, you have 4 years to do the work. You have 4 years to learn about the PNM. You have 4 years to use this outcome as your foundation. 4 years has passed, and I am standing as the prospective candidate for Bonaccord, Crown Point. With that being said, I come from a district that's unique. Bonaccord, Crown Point is the highest income earning village in Tobago after that. But that is not something to be proud about right now. Our roads, neglected. Our drains, neglected. There are no social programs in Bonaccord, Crown Point, and in Extension, Canaan, for none of our young people. None. The only football team in Tobago, 1976 FC Phoenix, that plays in the professional league, plays on that field, which has now no lights. I stand for change. I stand for development. There are some things my community needs, and I plan to change them. Better roads, I plan to fix that, to change it. Better drainage, better infrastructure. There are 14 other people who have the same dream and the same vision. And together, we have decided to come and hold the hands of all our brothers and sisters in Tobago, to put Tobago first again. A vote for us, not me, a vote for us is a vote for integrity, it's a vote for solidarity, it's a vote for representation. Most of all, it's a vote for service. My name is Dominique Erolko, and I am the prospective candidate for Bonaccord Crown Point. Continue to enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you. Yes. Yes.
You heard it from Brother Dominic Kerr. It's about representation. He spoke about some of the ills in his community and the ills in Tobago, and pledged, with his representation, you will see a difference in the community and a difference in the island. Brother Dominic Kerr, again. Sitting before you again is our political leader. He has a mic clip on, and here on the hot mic at this time. Welcome to bring some remarks. The man going to set the tone for the conversations. You see, on this side, we are political leaders we are proud of. I welcome to be in the hot mic, political leader, Brother Ansel Dennis.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you again.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Brother Paul, Chairman of the Tobago Council. It is a pleasure to be here this evening for our first installment of Community Conversations. And I am extremely proud to be seated next to your candidate, Dominic Kerr. Give him another round of applause. The man they call Train. You all know him as Train down on these ends. But I always wondered if Train is for train wreck, or if it's train as in training. Is it that you like to train when you played football?
I was into athletics.
Right.
And sprinting, the 100 and 200 was the order of the day.
Right.
So with that speed and transitioning to football, my striking partner at the time, Ashley McMillan, man before time, he said, boy, you too fast, boy, you had to be moving like a train. And that was the end of that story. From that day, the name Train was good.
So, in this election, he'll be moving like a train. But Bonaccord Crown Point, of course, it's what I consider to be a premier place in Tobago. It's a very fast-growing community. It's the center of Tobago's nightlife. During the carnival period, this Crown Point area was in fact the highlight. So in this community, you need good and excellent representation. And I am not proud to sit here and say that you have not had good representation for the last 4 years. Right? It doesn't give me any pleasure in saying that. But those are the facts. In fact, you currently do not have a sitting assemblyman in this district. So we are here to hear from you because it's a conversation. It is not the typical political meeting where you will come and listen to 5 speakers. We also want to hear from you. Because the truth is that over the last 4 years, this electoral district and Tobago by extension has regressed significantly at that. Once upon a time, Tobago used to be placed first. House of Assembly executed works. Tobago business preference. Once upon a time, the Tobago House of Assembly service providers, and we didn't place much emphasis on things like overseas travel and entertainment and so on. Once upon a time, Tobagonians were placed first. But unfortunately, over the last 4 years, not just in this district, but across the entire island, your interest as Tobagonians was not first. In fact, we saw other things being prioritized. We see in office today, office holders putting themselves first. We see businessmen from Trinidad getting first preference. We see abandonment by assemblymen across 14 electoral districts except one. Springwim has excellent representation. And I feel it for the people of Tobago. I've sat quietly here as leader of the PNM and I've observed. I've seen hundreds of people lost jobs. I've seen businesses shut down. I've seen businesses at the mercy of banks. I've seen communities neglected. I've seen playing fields, tennis courts, boardwalks, roadsides, community facilities. I've seen them neglected over the last 4 years. And we are simply saying that it's time to put Tobago first again. We are simply saying that charity begins at home. And what that means is that you must take care of home first before anywhere else. And that for us is what this conversation and it is what this campaign will be about. To put the interests of you, the people of Tobago, because Tobago must get back to the point where our resources are managed in such a way that it benefits you, the people of Tobago, first and foremost. Right? So, as we have these conversations, we will want to hear from you as well, because we know that you're the ones feeling the pain in the respective communities. You are the ones who will want to access the sporting facilities in this district that you can't currently access because it's either overgrown with bush or the lights not working and so on. And this particular district has demonstrated excellence in sports for many years. You have FC Phoenix, perhaps one of the premier football teams on the island. You also have Canaan Bonaccord Cricket Club, a club that I'm a proud member of. And by the way, for those who don't know, I play cricket. I used to be a professional competitive cricketer, but somewhere around the age of 25, I became a fet match cricketer. But I still play from time to time, and I'm also a proud member of the Canaan Bonaccord Cricket Club, where from time to time, I grace the field of play. So you have an excellent sporting legacy in this community, excellent business legacy, home of penny savers, Mansom. Dominique's dad is also a businessman in this district. You also have former Assemblyman Clarence Jacob and his father and his family business. So in this community, there is so much that we as Tobagonians must protect and defend. So again, I simply want to set the tone for these conversations and to appeal to the people of Tobago that having observed the neglect, having observed the abandonment, having observed the sellout for the last 4 years, redemption draweth nigh, and we will soon again have an opportunity to put Tobago first again. Thank you very much.
Let's hear it again for the political leader, Brother Ansel Dennis. Yes, there's still some chairs here. Now we are opening, as we said, is community conversations, meaning that we want to hear from you. We want you involved in the conversations. I want to recognize the man in the Tobago House of Assembly who's really been a sterling light on the island in terms of representation and holding this assembly accountable. Assemblyman Kelvin Morris. Yes? And of course, he's the minority leader, Brother Kelvin Morris. So we're opening the conversation. We want to hear from you. We want you to ask the questions. Make your statements. Tell us what is going on in your community. You know, one day, I think I told a meeting this, one day I was driving along the highway. And as I was driving along the highway, looking in the rearview mirror, and hearing a little speaking song. It sung to me as it was like a siren. I wasn't sure. It was a strange song, kind of custom siren blasting. And a line of us, as they come, we're pulling aside. And this vehicle is struggling to pass us, creeping. I said, what's going on here, boy? When I checked, it's one of our spanking new ambulances, struggling to overtake us. It may sound as a laughing matter. But if your relative was in that vehicle, you'd be sad. Is that what we came to? Is that what we are now? But those that was bought in somewhere in 2010, thereabout, still functioning effectively. And if you know well, they were bought under the People's National Movement. So I want to hear from you. In your district, you must know what is going on. Tell us. And our politically we tell you, of course, the PNM, we are ensure that we put Tobago first again. We are putting Tobago people first again, one of my friends will say. The floor is open for a few minutes. Pierre, you said about 60 minutes. We are giving you an hour to talk. We want to hear from you. So there's a mic in the back. You raise your hands, I recognize you. You take the mic and start the conversation. So lady is going, she's going there now, yes. And remember, we want to hear from you. Perfect.
Good. Mr. Dennis, our political leader, good evening to you. Mr. Kerr, our representative, good evening to you, sir.
Yes?
Our councillor, I hope I have it right, Miss...
Yes, she's here.
All right, nice. Our Lady Vice, Nicole Henry, good evening to you, ma'am. And our Assemblyman, Mr. Kelvin Morris, good evening to you. And everybody else who is here this evening, good evening. Good evening. My name is Nicole Kwashi Pajat. I came up here for a weekend 7 years ago. That was it, I never turned back. I fell in love with this little island. I'm originally from Togo, so you can understand why I love Tobago. You know, they say it's Trinidad, Tobago, and Togo, so I love Tobago. I literally fell in love with this little island. So I've been here from March of 2019, and what I've seen from then till now is a serious regression of Tobago. It saddens my heart. Let me listen. Tobago is a blessed island. This island is blessed. The people of the, if I was born Tobagonian, I'd say that every day. Yeah. I have Tobagonian heritage, I'm Kwashi, but I wasn't born here. If I was born here, I would have been different. But I have my roots here. Maybe that's why I end up here. I have my roots here. I'm a Kwashi by birth. Yeah, my daddy's a Kwashi. And when I hear people say that PNM never do nothing for me, well, who is PNM? I don't know nothing about PNM. The first roads, I'm not from Tobago, eh? I've only been here 7 years, but I did a little research. And PNM is foundation. PNM is foundation. I asked my mister this evening, because he's older than me, and he is from Tobago. We live right down 4 roads. And I said, give me some information, because when I stand up in front of this mic this evening, I don't look good. So give me some information. And the information he gave me, it is shocking. So why, I just don't understand why people keep saying, PNM never do nothing for me. Well, PNM, but what have you done for the PNM? What have you done to uplift the party? What have you done to help the party go forward? I'm just asking that random question. So, you see, for the naysayers and all of them who say, what PNM ever do for me? Ask the older heads. Let them tell you who built the first school. Let them tell you who. How we gain independence? Through who? Who? But why are you saying it so soft? Okay. Right. What have we done for our party to uplift our party? What have we done? I know what I have been doing, and I will keep doing what I have been doing. I am an ex-member of Party Group 3 of Maloney Gardens. I've been a long-standing member there. So, I've been in this thing a while. I have PNM in my blood. It's running in my veins. It's running in my veins. I can't help it. It's in my DNA. And it does irk me. It is really irk me. It peeves me when people say, what PNM do for me? It peeves me. It is really upset me. But I don't take it up in much conversation. You know, people just get heated and all. They don't see how I am already. So I just keep it at a certain level. Now, we have been told 4 years ago, we were told that it will be different government. The government would be different. The governance would be different. No, yeah? 4 years ago. I wonder if people realize that 4 years ago ended the fiscal year. So, this is the second term. Am I correct? Is this the second? Hello? And 4 years gone already, right? Right. But, wait, just now. I check in it, the fiscal year, and the fiscal year does end before December, and the fiscal year, so in my whole humble opinion, once the fiscal year done, your next term starts. So, them next term done start. So, which means, in my humble opinion, them here 5 years already, and IAC. So, I hear almost 7 years. So, I just hear 2 years before they came and give us this different governance that we see in the pettiness, the backbiting. Is that the difference we're looking for? The undermining of certain things, is that the governance that we... I just asking. And my last question I want answered is this, right? Right. I think 0.9 less than what we did ask for. There's never going to be 100%, right? Since then, I don't know if anybody have heard anything, but I haven't, and I have been following this thing. So I in here, okay, y'all, so we get such and such in the budget, so such and such going towards our pensioners, such and such going towards just social development programs, such and such going towards education. I ain't hear nothing. Anybody heard anything? Anybody heard? Haven't yet? No? No, not yet. Oh, it's just a question. So I want to know what really happening. This little island, it didn't regress no more, we come to a dead stop. Nothing is happening. So here what? Don't all your edges. Put on all your battle armor, because I'm ready, Because if we put in Tobago first, not the party, If we put in Tobago first, and everybody had to be ready to battle, because it's going to be a stiff one. If I've heard correctly, at the end of the month, our Honorable Prime Minister would be giving us a visit in Tobago here. She touched down. Woo! Mister, you read my mind. Me say so. Me say she come in Tobago to look for a spot. So when the bacchanal start at Trini, she go run up here. Hello? Hello? I just call a spade. That's the first thing came to my mind. And don't even get me started on this budget. All you listening, you know what? I feel I better sit down. Everybody have a blessed evening. I just needed to vent all this craziness. Have a good evening.
Yes, we heard the conversation. Thank you, my dear. She said Tobago is at a halt. Political leader, what are you saying to that?
which is what you use to pave your roads, and do all the things that I just mentioned that the P&M did, is only $201 million, less than last year's allocation of $205 million, and less than the $260 million that was given by a P&M central government. And of course, they refer to that budget as fiscal wickedness. But $201 million for development, according to them, should be celebrated. And we wouldn't find a better example of this administration not putting the interests of Tobagonians first. So, $2.9 billion allocation. Let me tell you where most of that will go to. Number one, to deal with the new salary obligations, because all the politicians got increases, the personal staff got increases, and by the way, all of them quietly got back pay to the tune of $400,000, $500,000, which is $500,000. A lot of it went as well to the travel vote. If you examine the budget carefully, the vote in the division, and the vote is where you basically apportion the money to for administrative purposes. The vote that treats with overseas travel, all of them would top up by significant sums of money. So in other words, that $2.9 billion will not benefit you, the people of Tobago. It's as simple as that. Now, the other thing is that if this administration has a track record, because they have been doing it for the last 4 years they have been in office, if their track record has been to blacklist and sideline every Tobago business and do business with businesses or contractors from Trinidad, then it doesn't matter what the allocation is. All of it will simply pass through the THA's account and develop somewhere else, which is Trinidad. Finally, let's take the $100 million road, for example. All we benefited from that road is the road to drive on. As uneven as it is, it's there for us to drive on. But the money spent during that project on salaries, on equipment rental, on every other aspect of that project did not go into the pockets or bank accounts of Tobagonians. And that is what is killing the Tobago economy right now. If you go and you ask the average hairdresser, barber, the young lady who does eyelashes, the bar owner, the shopkeeper in every community, they will tell you that their bottom line, their profits decreased exponentially over the last 4 years. Because if you take away money that would normally go into the pockets of Tobagonians during the execution of a project, then you're also taking away money from those businesses. That's how the economy works. Economies thrive by money being spent and circulating in that economy. Remove that money and give it to UNC contractors and Trinidad contractors, or I shouldn't even say you, I should say us. All of us will suffer as a result. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Of course, the mic is still open. And you know, when we in Kenya talk about representation, you must mention the name Clarence Jacob. I know he's wrong, so we want to recognize Brother Clarence Jacob. You know, we have to ask ourselves a question as you come to the mic. With all the old talk and the basket that persons have taken, 4 years have elapsed. I ask you a question. Is your life any better today?
No.
That's a question, you know. Ask yourself, is your life any better today? What the answer is this? The answer is no. So, my friends, we are saying, from this platform, let us put Tobago first. Again. Who's coming to the mic next? Brother Kerr is here, you know, don't forget. You can talk to him as well. And you are looking good, listening attentively. We want to hear from you. Yes? Thank you. Say, lady is coming again. Sister Daki, we want to hear from you. Talk your mind, ask the questions.
Joan, better known as Daki. PNM did for me. Who could say PNM never do nothing for Tobago? I am Tobago. PN girls, very intelligent. Looking at them, future. There came Gate. It's only rich people children could go university. Rich people children could go university. Bazio Pandey say, dollar for dollar. My first daughter started. And I got some assistance from a PNM businessman started to help me to push her, along with her father who is deceased now. When on her final year, my great Patrick Manning said, open the gate. Open the gate. And there on her final year, she went for free. The last one, gate all the way. Me could have paid for that? I couldn't pay for that. $1,760 a fortnight. I could have paid for that. The only thing I could have helped you with is to give you some food and a little transportation and family members stripping with other little thing. Open the gate. You know what she do after the gate, after the first degree? She take advantage of the gate. Masters. I could have paid for that. PNM did it for me. PNM did it for me. And I will say, thank God for the foundation of the PNM. And all who want to talk the PNM, all they don't talk it with me. I don't want to hear nothing about Ansel Dennis. Don't tell me nothing about Larry Paul. Don't tell me nothing about no PNM. Don't tell me nothing about Ayanna Webster Roy. Not tell me nothing about Shamfa. And you see all my perspective are rooting for you. Great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. I have a road since we lose the election. Me, I know if you name Taylor Drive and they know I live there. They never come back inside of there. If you see how what you call the thing and them, up in the air there, where they doing the foundation with, the BRC or what you call it, everything stick up in the air there still. My brother, for him to go where he live in, is I give him some concrete ply to put over that for you to step across to go over. 4 years. My area representative has never been in my street. 2 persons came the first year to ask me a question, and I showed them the road. You got to check the area where possible, all the other people walking. So all they had to carry back the information and never see them again. And the road's still there. We used to have so much overhangings Pressure. So when we're doing walkabouts, pressure. If you see the state of the road, some of the roads and them when they pass in the drain and them stink. Nothing being done. Me ain't blaming the workers, you know. But somebody had to lead. And if you're in an area and it's your area, you have to lead. Because you have to walk your area and you have to know where you're falling short. And you have to come and you have to fix it. Because remember, that was the word to come inside. To get inside. Let me fix it. Up to now, I see it. That they want to do it. But it ain't fixed. It ain't fixed. So I want to tell my PNM people, and I want to tell my Tobago people. I remember when I was going to school, we used to cut across by the gas station in Canby, go over, where you call the manland there? Before they build the highway. Tony Bishop. It's through the gully there sometime when we walk in from school over early and we walk in home. We have to go down through Tony Bishop gully there to go home. Where we live in now? Highway. Who built a highway? PNM. That highway. A&R Robinson wanted to stop the highway. Who ended up cutting the ribbon on and PNM ain't do nothing. PNM do for me. And I know it do for all of we inside of here. But you see, ungrateful, it worse than witchcraft. And let me tell you something. Wherever the evil that Tobagonians think that they're planting now, they're going to sow it. They're going to sow it and they're going to reap it. I want to tell you tonight, let me seek God, Let me pray. Let me pray because the warfare is on. And let me tell you something. If God to open some of our eyes to see what's going on in the environment, we ball. All you pray.
Yes, thank you.
I leave in this with all you. All you pray. And all you saturate these grounds. And you see all the prospective candidates, all you don't walk without Christ, All you ask him to order all your footsteps. And I leave Psalm 91:11 with all you. He will give his angels charge over all you, in all your ways. I thank you.
Amen. Powerful. Prayer is important, and let us cover ourselves and pray for the island, of course, and pray for the party, and pray for our prospective candidates. But I want to especially congratulate Sister Daki, because most of us are afraid to tell our story, but she was bold and brave. She said, PNM did it for me. How many persons that PNM would have done things for, but when we needed PNM most, when we needed them most, they're afraid to come out and say, yes, PNM did it for me. PNM did it for all of us, so we can enjoy a better life from where we were to where we are today because of the People's National Movement. We are the PNM, and always proud. She made the point about the foundation. The PNM built this land. Always be proud and be bold and be brave to say the PNM built this land, and we are proud to be PNM because of what we have done for us and for the island and for the country. The mic is still open for us. You know, as you come to the mic, I see Sister Ayana Webster in the back. And a guy said to me 2 days ago in his budget, he said, wait, Ayana and Champagne, I miss them, boy. We miss them. Sister Webster Roy, they miss you now. Where our voice is gone? The contribution that Sister Webster Roy made, especially in standing committee, history will recall. She go down in history. Give her a lusty round of applause. Lady Vice Chairman at the mic.
Pleasant good night to everyone. I am Nicole Henry Waldron. I am a resident of Bonaccord, Crown Point. So this is my electoral district. I had 2 questions I wanted to ask, but it turned out to 3. So I'm going to need some help from my prospective candidate as well as my political leader. So 1, if you look around right now in our community center, you would realize that we are in dire need of repairs. So 4 years, no repairs, not even paint. That's very concerning to me. One of the major questions I wanted to ask is, we had a nice grand opening of our airport in the month of April, and it was destined to open fully operational in the month of June. And now we are in the month of November, 1 month away from the end of the year. And I am waiting to travel and utilize that airport. I am calling on the present Tobago House of Assembly, before they demit office, to open the airport now. People want to travel.
Yes.
That's 1. Next thing is, I don't know how many of you traverse Crown Point, Canaan, Bonaccord. If you know where the hotel is, Cocoa Reef. So we started with a puddle, and then we had a pool, and then somebody gave a friend $3 million to fix it, and now we have a lake. So I want to know how we fixing the lake, when we opening the airport, and they have been renaming different community centers. We don't care where you do to Canaan and Bonaccord. Fix it, you could rename it, you could do it wherever, rebrand it. We know it's the P&M billet. So you can't change history. So whether you want to paint it, fix the ceiling, do whatever. Because you have done nothing. Do something. So we want the airport open now. We want you to tell me how the $3 million spent, because me ain't seen $3 million of work with a puddle. And we want the community center to be fixed.
Thank you. Question?
Ms. Henry and the other community members here. So, if you could remember, some years ago when Siriram did the repaving of Bonaccord, the road levels were elevated. Because of that, much water does not go down to the lagoon, as we would say, down Kilwin, and much of it comes back to the main road. The drainage system that we have is inadequate to host the amount of water that comes on the road. I've heard people boast and say, but when it comes, it don't last long. In about an hour and a half, it has run off. Is that good enough? Is that really good enough? Before we, the PNM, lost the last THA election, I know for a fact that a major infrastructure program to eradicate the water off of the main road and to deal with the problem at Cocoa Reef was well on the way. I could spell out the solution for the problem because I did that research for a construction project while doing my construction studies. I used a natural disaster project and to remedy the problem. So when I sit here and I say representation, I don't speak just representation from things I hear people say, I've been doing the work. What is happening at Cocoa Reef is a problem with an easy fix. If you remember, there was once a sluice gate that went out to the sea where Cocoa Reef Hotel was before, when it was Crown Reef, I think it was called. When they closed the sluice gate, all the water that came, because they pitched the road, Mr. King, and if you remember, Cocoa Reef or Crown Reef, the road was not so high, and now they slanted it to one side of the road. So all the water comes from that side of the street, from Pigeon Point, from Store Bay, and settles in that area. I could give the solution, but I'm not helping the party that is in power to fix their problem. Yeah? That is a problem that the PNM will fix, and by God's grace, when I'm the representative, we'll fix it.
Mine is ready to serve. Yeah.
With respect to the airport, I want to echo the sentiments of Ms. Henry that we want the airport opened now, because we had a ceremony for a practical completion, which simply meant that construction finish. And following that, of course, if construction finish, it shouldn't take long after that to establish all that needs to be established to open it. So the plan, when the PNM was in central government, was to open the airport for public access by the month of June. How is it that we are now in November? Construction finished, the airport is just sitting there idly, and we can't have access to the new airport terminal building. And interestingly, in the budget, they told us that they're not going to open it until the second quarter of the fiscal year, which is what, March, sometime next year, 2026. And I am calling on the current Tobago House of Assembly administration to put Tobago first. Because if you have Tobago's interests first, you will go to your friends in the central government. In fact, you don't even have to go to them. The Prime Minister came to Tobago tonight. Tell her to open the airport now.
Very strongly, open the airport now. Another charming ladies at the mic. Come right ahead.
Good night, everyone. My name is Shimika Toppin, and I have a question for prospective candidate, Mr. Kerr. As a teacher of the Bonaccord Government Primary School, we have been considered or deemed an at-risk school. With the lack of resources that we sometimes are suffered with, being an at-risk institution, or, well, if we will call it that, so we're at risk. What are your plans, or some of your plans, that you have for our school, our institution? I know that there are some things that you have already started, so I just want to know if you could give us maybe one, maybe two, but I am here concerned about your plans that you have for the Bonaccord Government Primary School when you get into office.
Good question. Nobody, over to you.
Yes.
So they consider schools at risk when they look at your performance, as opposed to all other schools when it comes to your performance, when it comes to SEA and all these other exams, and they look at you and where you are placed. where your school is. So they have different benchmarks. So they have our school at those schools that are asterisk when it comes to things like that. So that's what they deem to be at-risk schools.
Yes, thank you for your question. You know, it's very interesting that you said that there are some things that I'm already doing. Bonaccord School paved the way to me. It's a school that I hold dear to my heart. I have been a member of a lot of schools, SDA Primary, Hammond, Signal Hill, and I could testify that I know what you're speaking about. So I went through the community and I realized that for such a small community, we have a lot of present and past educators. The populace of teachers within the Bonaccord, Crown Point, Canaan electoral district is vast. And the populace of retired teachers in relation to those who are actively working is even greater. I once asked myself the question, how would a homework center, one, be of value to our community? In that way, we have some of these retired teachers, some of these present-day teachers come together to help remedy the problem. Now, we have to be real with the social ill. Facilitated the trade men that we have. See, Brother Curtis, you're one. You're one. MIC is good, MIC is great, but you need subjects O levels to get into MIC. Our community, our tradesmen was built by this trade school. One of the things I have at the helm is reigniting a trade school in Bonaccord, Crown Point, Canaan. To alleviate I left primary school, there is nothing much for me to do. I will go on the block and I could stay here for the rest of the day and get myself involved in things that we all know end you in a place where once Inspector Miller may have had a conversation with you. A homework center, reigniting the trade school, and the implementation of a specific social program in my community for young people and sexual awareness. The ages of the parents in Bonaccord, Crown Point, Canaan is getting less and less. Now we have 19 and 18 and 17-year-olds being mothers and fathers. And it's a problem that we have to look at and treat with seriously. So I hope I answered your question. These are just some of the programs and initiatives. And not me, but we together as a community, when we come and hold and butt heads, we'll iron out the kinks and ensure that it happens. Ensure that the plans and aspirations become realities. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And say together we'll get it done. Yes. The mic is still open, and thank you, my brother.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Good night.
My name is Richard Boris. I want to educate the youth about coming up right now where election is concerned. You see, in going around canvassing, some of them, well, they lack knowledge based on the things that they're hearing from the TTP. Now, sometimes we're talking to people and they're telling you they only want to vote TTP, but they don't like PNM. And I asked the question. I said the word PNM is 3 letters from the alphabet. But what about the prospective candidate? Is that person from the alphabet? Who could help you? Now the PNM is a symbol. But you have to look at the person who is representing you. And most of the time, we misrepresent ourselves by not looking at the person who is representing us. The person who could help you in your community. But some people just speak about the party. It's not only about the party. It's about the representative. And I want to say to Mr. Dominic Kerr and to all the prospective candidates, I know we want to win the election, and by the grace of God we will win. But let us not be promising things and can't keep our promises. Let us make sure that when we make promises and we get there, we keep our promises. Integrity is what takes us through. Before the election, we were saying about a 10%. People still waiting. They even bring a clip with a young lady when she went by the grocery and she paid $100 and things. She tell them, keep the change, you gain 10% just now. After 2 weeks, she went by the same grocery and telling them she come back for the change. Because the 10% didn't come in. Right? So, it's just to say that we don't have to lie to people. The PNM don't have to lie to people. If the PNM tell you XYZ, it's XYZ. Right? There's a person that's Christian, he picked me first. Now, the leader at the THA right now, in his constituency, where I born and grew, is a jetty in Palatevere that break down over 20 years. Palatevere is the most productive fishing village in the whole of Tobago. But when coming to rough sea, no place doesn't have rough sea like Palatevere. I have clippings of it. And that jetty break down so long, and we have getting a lot of promises, but our representative promised that the first thing he will do when he gets in office is to fix the jetty. And we're still waiting. However, the roads, if you look at the roads coming from Charlottesville, the connectivity from Charlottesville to Palatevere and from Roxport to Bloody Bay was in a dilapidated state and condition. You know what helped somebody road to get paved? Blue food. When I started praying and asked God if they could get blue food in every village in Tobago, because the only way we might get some road to pave. Because if it's your constituency and you pass in there every day and you can't fix it, then how you could fix Tobago? If you can't fix your own constituency or your own yard or your backyard, how you could fix Tobago? You need not to be lying to the people all the time. People look at, as a leader, people look up to you. And as a leader, when you fail the people. And you keep failing the people all the time. I just pray for every prospective candidate at the PNM. I see greatness in every one of them. I see greatness in every one of them. I'm proud of them. And to top it up all, the leader of them, Mr. Anson Dennis, a man of integrity. A man of integrity. And under such a leader, there is no room for failure. So let us move forward positive and to touch the heart of the young one that coming up. You see, what we have to look at, especially the older folks, and let's try to educate them also. It's not about yourself. It's not about me or I only. It's about we and us. We have to look about the future. We have our children coming up in the future. Long time some children and think if you don't pass common entrance, that's it for you, you know. You look for a trade. Now you could go, the child with the less ability still have an opportunity to go to a high school. And that is because of the PNM. It wasn't so before. It wasn't so before. So I'm asking again, when we're doing canvassing, let us remember to help to educate the youths. Let them know to look further ahead for the future. It's not only about now, but it's about the future to come also. And if we do that, great is the PNM, and we'll be unstoppable. Great is the PNM, and we will be unstoppable. We have a good leader, we have a proper prospective candidate from my point of view, and I give God praise and thanks for each and every one of you.
Thank you very much. Making some very powerful points. You know, I got a text asking me to introduce the candidates that are here, but when the political leader comes to make his final remarks, he will do that point. Persons on the outside say they want to see the candidates who are here. So Pierre will deal with that when he's making his winding up.
That the young man there made a very valid point that needs to be reinforced. That if the assemblyman for Palatavia Lands on the Speed side cannot take care of his own electoral district, then that tells us exactly why he has not been and cannot take care of Tobago and your business. Because apart from the neglect that we've been seeing, and a lot of people have spoken about it, the extremely bad road conditions, the lack of jobs, the lack of opportunities, the destruction of Tobago's businesses and Tobago people. I don't think enough attention is being paid to the abandonment of projects that were started under the previous administration. Some of them were already progressing nicely, and there were other projects that were shovel ready, just about to be executed, and they were cancelled as well. And if we're going to have a discussion on that, then we have to start in that very electoral district of Palatavia Lands and Speyside. The Charlotteville Community Center, that project was started under the PNM, awarded to a Tobagonian contractor who was already in the process of employing Tobagonians to do the work. That project was stopped, and it was left languishing for 4 years until last week, I think, some work started back. Under the PNM as well, we did the designs to treat with that dangerous bend going into Charlotteville called Turpin Bend. Designs were completed, tendering process done, awarded to a Tobagonian again, and guess what? That project was stopped. And then if you come down to Goldsboro, we started an agro-processing facility, very important development for the agriculture sector. And I see a couple persons here at this meeting who are very much involved in that sector, so they will know exactly what I'm talking about. Project started, awarded to a Tobagonian contractor. Guess what? That was stopped and is still languishing, overgrown in bush, perhaps rats and cockroaches, and you might be lucky to catch a manico if you're interested in that. If you come down further, just down the road from that facility, you will find the Goodwood Pavilion. contract awarded, works were going at pace. Young men, again, because the P&M model has always been, we give the work to Tobagonian contractors, they will employ young men and even some older men and women from the community. When they get paid, they will go right in their community, spend that money by the shop, by the supermarket, by the vegetable stall, by the young lady that does the nails. It's not that men do nails, but I believe that men must take care of the ladies. So you give the ladies the money when you get paid and they go and do their nails and do their hair. So that's how the money circulates and that's how we build the economy. So at the Goodwood Pavilion, you had young men from right in Goodwood, employed, happy, because they're getting money in their pockets. Guess what? Projects stopped. And when you come down to Bacolet, you will see next to the parade ground, that paved area where we have parade, Independence Day parade and so on. Right next to that, you will see some steel beams there rusting away. That is, in fact, the Bertil Sinclair indoor sporting facility that Tobagonians have been demanding, and we in the P&M responded to that call, started the designs, completed the designs, went through a competitive tendering process, awarded it, guess to who? Another Tobagonian contractor. And it goes without saying that that project has been stopped for the last 4 years, and it is just there sitting, rotting away. Ladies and gentlemen, if that is not the best example of mismanagement and the best example of a lack of care and concern for you, the people of Tobago, then I don't know what else is. And I want to say to you now, because I do make promises, but only promises that I can keep, that once the P&M, or when the P&M is elected back to the Tobago House of Assembly, we will resume all those abandoned projects within the first 6 months. And I will go further to say that notwithstanding the excuses you will hear from this current administration about why all the projects are now suddenly going to Trinidad, and those excuses have been, one, that all of a sudden Tobago contractors don't have the finances to do big projects, and two, that all of a sudden they can't do projects in phases. Notwithstanding those excuses, I promise you and I guarantee you that when we restart those projects, all of them will be awarded to contractors from Tobago. And let me say, you don't have to break the law or do anything illegal for that to happen. Because the very Procurement Act that they are trying to use as an excuse affords the Tobago House of Assembly the authority and the power to design their procurement policies to ensure the protection of local businesses and contractors. To ensure that because of Tobago's unique circumstances, that we get to take care of our own, because charity begins at home.
I want to ensure I heard you correct. Because I wanted to record it, because I'm standing here at the mic. So I wanted to make sure, and I had to make sure I tell the truth. That you are saying to us, I want you to repeat what you said to us there, that those abandoned projects will be done, and repeat what you said. I want you to repeat that part again.
Let me repeat it.
Yes.
Because I heard you say that I said they will be done. They will be restarted within the first 6 months of the next PNM THA. And not only will they be restarted, but they will be restarted by Tobagonian contractors. Now let me just add that I know that our Tobagonian businessmen are struggling right now. From the largest contractor to the smallest contractor, they are struggling. And therefore I know it might be a stretch to ask them to mobilize and execute a project on behalf of the Tobago House of Assembly, because normally in the past, the average Tobago contractor was able to go to the bank, get financing from the bank, and begin to execute projects on behalf of the THA even without mobilization. But since Hurricane Farley, and this is serious, I need you to listen to this, the banks now have zero confidence in Tobago's construction sector. Let me say that again. The banks now have zero confidence in Tobago's construction sector. So, any Tobagonian contractor right now who gets awarded a contract and decides to go to the bank to finance that contract, the bank is likely to say that no, we are not going to finance that contract for two reasons. One, this same THA failed to pay Tobago contractors for 4 years, resulting in a lot of bad loans on our end. That's the first thing the bank will say. And the second thing the bank will say is that because of how you have operated, or because of how this current administration have operated in the Tobago space, we have no confidence in this particular sector. And that is the reality that Tobagonians are facing. And for those of you who are not contractors, you might be saying, well, how does that impact me? I'm not a contractor. Well, it impacts you in two ways. One, if you have the ambition of becoming a contractor, because in 2020, I think it was, we launched a program called the Community-Based Infrastructural Development Program that allowed some very, very small contractors or some Tobagonians with just the dream of becoming a contractor in Tobago's construction sector, they were able to get into the pool and execute projects on behalf of the THA. Small projects ranging from about $150,000, $200,000. And that's where you start most of the times and you grow. Right? So, that's something we can boast about in the PNM. We ensured that we created opportunities for those very small contractors, and they benefited. So if you have the dream, then at this stage, right now, based on what is happening, forget it. I was even talking to some TPP supporters. And one of them said something very interesting to me. He said this. He said, even if this administration wanted to label all the contractors who did any work with the THA during the PNM time as PNM contractors and victimize them and sideline them, what about we who supported them? So if you're going to sideline them because they are quote-unquote PNM contractors, why not then empower and create some TPP contractors? Now, I don't believe in any PNM contractors and TPP contractors, I'm just saying. And I found it very interesting because that was one of the things they said to young men when they went around into the communities. We will ensure that you get work, we will ensure that you could start a business and so on. But as we speak now, to get a contract in Tobago, especially one that is over, well, I used to say $10 million, but now, if it's over $5 million, first things first, you have to be from Trinidad. And you will get preference if you are from the southern part of Trinidad. And if you doubt me, just go and check who is building the new early childhood center in Plymouth. A facility that is perhaps smaller than this community center. We need in Tobago now a contractor from Trinidad to build our early childhood center. That's where it is now. And finally, how this will impact on you? Contractors are not just contractors. Business persons and suppliers in Tobago are not just business persons and suppliers. They create employment. They hire people. And when they hire people, people get paid. And when you get paid, you have money to spend, and you get to spend it on whatever you want. Business persons also reinvest into their place of operation or their place of birth. So whenever you hear us talk about businesses in Tobago being stifled, don't see it as just the business being stifled. See it as yourself, your future opportunities, your future dreams and aspirations, your economy, your island. See it as you yourself personally being stifled and being sabotaged. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pierre. As we get ready to wind down the conversation, the mic is still open. Because Pierre made a point about the bad roads. That is something that annoys us every single day. At one time, Tobago used to boast of having smooth and good roads. Now it's the worst in the country. We can't take that for granted. Or the hedges, the bush so tall. It has never been that way before. So we're taking one more before we wrap up, and your prospective candidate is here, willing to answer your questions. Don't be afraid to ask him a question. And then he will make his remark, and the political leader will give the final closing remarks. So I guess not want to go straight. And the marking of the roads. Some strong point in roads, strong points, is Adaki. So all we have to say that we have to put Tobago first again. Very strong point. So I will ask whether Dominica, the prospective candidate for this area, remarks and your final pitch to your audience this evening.
When we were having the conversation with the rest of the candidate team in terms of the theme for this election campaign, we had one choice. It was said once. Putting Tobago first again was something we all said, that is what we're going with. In order for a group of people who hail from different villages, who came from different upbringings, to say in one accord, that is what we're going with, it's simply because we could identify that we have a problem and that is the solution. All I'm saying and imploring you all, let us put Tobago first again. Not for you, not for me, but for us, our children, and the generation to come. Thank you.
PNM, and we give you Dominic, who says you're going to put Tobago first again and put this area first again. And I now bring to the political leader, Ansel Dennis, to give us his closing remarks.
Well, I think this was a very good conversation. Give yourselves a round of applause. And I have absolutely no doubt that Bonaccord Crown Point will be in good hands, in the hands of Dominic Craig. So we have a number of our other prospective candidates here with us, but I will not announce them here at this meeting. You will hear from them and you will see them at the other meetings. Of course, tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. we will be in Delaford. So you will hear from the candidate for Roxborough, Delaford, or Roxborough Argyle, in fact, tomorrow evening. On Thursday, we head to Bethel, and therefore on Thursday you will get to know the candidate, the prospective candidate for the electoral district of Bethel, New Grange. So we are going to be having these conversations. We will continue these conversations across every community, every electoral district in Tobago, because we believe that as part of this process of rescuing Tobago, reviving our economy, and restoring our heritage, you must be part of that process going forward. So we're not going to wait for an election campaign to be launched to come and have 4 or 5 platform speakers talk to you. We want to hear from you as well. We want you to tell us your experiences within your community, within your electoral district. We even want you to tell us some of the things that you will hope the PNM will do in your respective communities and electoral districts. So I think tonight was an excellent start, excellent turnout. I want to thank all of you for coming out to these meetings. And I know at this point in time, it is difficult to go to a microphone and talk about what is happening in Tobago. I know at this meeting now that there are people who are itching to talk, but they are afraid of the consequences. They are afraid of victimization. They are afraid of losing their jobs. They are afraid of a contract being taken away. They are afraid of the consequences of speaking up for themselves. And it is unfortunate that this is exactly what we have come to in Tobago under this current administration. But I say to all of you, fear not. Redemption draweth nigh. Because the time will come very soon where all of us will ensure that we put Tobago first again. Thank you very much and good night, everyone.
So, thank you again for coming. Remember, your candidates will be walking through area, knocking on doors. Support your candidates. Never be afraid to tell your story. Tell the PNM story. Let people know the People's National Movement have done for you and your community. Because you go to see the young people who came up and they came and met everything good. We have to tell the story. Tell them how it was. What the PNM has done for you and for the There's a time when persons under the PNM you can talk and say what you want. Now people are afraid to even put a text or to even put a like on Facebook. We are saying, let us put Tobago first again. We are the PNM. We are proud to be PNM. We are proud of our history. We are proud of our track record. And under the People's National Movement, greatness will happen again for Tobago and for all of us, because great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. Great is the People's National Movement. And we shall prevail in the interest of Tobago and Trinidad and Tobago. I thank you.
Hey, we got this. Hey, hey, I cannot wait for election morning. Tell them why. Tell them why. I dipping down to me elbow, darling. From slave side to Canaan, we making it through this moment. You are the reason. Higher than higher heights is our limit. So we ain't leaving. No one behind, we will not desert you. Come on, protect the future. I know we can do this thing, yeah. So right now, let me fix up, fix up. Come on, now let me link up, link up. We got to let me build up, build up. To make us as one. Turn the country that over. We feel like the mother. It's the way that we love. Provide representation. Hey, we got this. We got this. We got this. PNM. We got this.
All right, so let me say good afternoon to those of you joining me. I was saying to you earlier on that what you were hearing a while ago was a meeting, a conversation that was had at the People's National Movement in Tobago, the Tobago arm of the People's National Movement. They would have had a conversation last night, and I decided to play it over again for those of you, because, you know, we would have been on our own platform doing our own thing, you know what I mean? Doing our own thing and stuff like that. So, again, let me say thank you to those of you who would have come on and be a part of the conversation. and be a part of the broadcast. I'm awaiting the rerun of the opposition press conference that she would have had earlier on today. All right, the opposition would have had a press conference, and I would like to give you that rerun. So once I get it, I would play it over for those of you who are on the live. I don't know if you all are hearing me because I don't see anybody responding. All right, so if you're hearing me loud and clear, let's put a thumbs up. Put some thumbs up if you're hearing me, because I really want you guys to let's be a part of what's going on. All right, so join me later on as I would get the rerun. All right, I get the rerun of the opposition leader's speech. Okay, the opposition leader's speech. I will try to get that for you so that you will be aware of all that's going on in Trinidad and Tobago. Okay, so again, I don't know if you all are hearing me. If you're hearing me loud and clear, you can put a thumbs up. If you're hearing me loud and clear, you can put a thumbs up if you're hearing me loud and clear. All right, so I'm going to see if the opposition press conference is reposted. If it is reposted, then I'll go straight to that. Yeah, what do you think? All right, I'll go straight to that. So let's see if the PNM, if the press conference was put up. And if it is put up, then I will go straight to that press conference today. That would have happened today. All right, I'm not seeing it, so I don't know what's going on. Oh yeah. Let's see what's going on. No, it's not up. So once it is reposted, then I will put it up and give you guys a idea of what's going on or what happened at the press conference. All right. So again, thank you all very much for joining me on Constructive Talk, rebroadcast of the Tobago conversation with the people.
Relevant question today.